everyone. This is Candice with Happy Catastrophe, also Sister Minh Bao. For those of you that are new, I am a Buddhist nun. This is one of our favorite videos of the month, my finished pages for July, and oh boy. So first let's set the stage. It's like 9:30, somewhere between 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night. It's finally below 90 degrees. We're having a terrible heat wave here in Oregon. And you can probably hear the loud crickets and frogs because I live near a canal and with some water in it. And then you can probably also hear my sprinkler out front. I'm watering my wild lettuce patch because I pick and dry wild lettuce and use it in a tea for pain, and I sell it to neighbors around here. So, and it's suffering in this heat. I turned off all my ACs, so if I have to do this in chunks just to stop and turn the AC back on, I will. But for now, we're just gonna go with it. And I wanna show you the marvelousness that was July. Okay, I received so many wonderful gifts, and I think that must be what did it, because I was completely energized. And I did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 pages. I've never done 26 pages in a month. My goal is 10. I did 26. I don't even know how, and a lot of them were complicated. I just colored like a maniac. And I think it was all the beautiful gifts I was given. I colored in 9 untouched books, and all of those were gifts. I colored in 6 new to me artists, thanks to the gifts. These were artists that I had never seen before or never worked with before. And of those 26, 8 were color by numbers. So I did take breaks between these heavy duty pages to do just some mindless color by numbers. I do have one unfinished buddy color. And these are just some of the buddy colors and the notes I took and me trying to get through it all. And then here is all the pages. Oh my goodness. So let's get started. So for the first book, we'll do the whip. So Alessandra Fusi's Fantastic Worlds, which I just recently transposed to my new color book inventory. So you would have seen me going through this book, and you would have seen the whip. So I am doing a trifecta, triple buddy. And this is the page we're doing, and I've only gotten half of it partly done. So this is a buddy with Ninja Mom colors, and I put her IG name there, and Mindful Griff, my friend Cindy. So I've only done this side, and so ladies, obviously I didn't get it finished for July, but this is in my August plans, so this will be finished for August. Partway through doing this, I received this amazing gift from JMac Creative, Julia, the super golden markers, and so I went bonkers with the super golden markers, and there's a lot of bling on here. I think other than the dragon's skin is distress ink put on with a blender brush. And then I put shiny super golden markers on the scales. That's acrylic paint pens for the feathery stuff on the back of them. Back here is acrylic paint pens and also super golden markers. And then for her, all this is super golden markers, all of her jewelry and stuff. But for her, I'm doing her all in my new Polychromos pencils that were gifted to me. So I'm having a really good time making her shirt see-through. I want to make her all gauzy and see-through. She is a seductress as well as a very tough queen. She uses her beauty, but she will kill you with her dragon. And really, this side's going to be much easier. I just was spending so much time with having so much fun with these shiny markers and with her that it just took me a while. And I had a lot of pages this month. So this will get finished for August, and then we'll have all of that shininess. Oh, in the background here is Kimi gouache in Oh, in this set, I just have the smaller set, 18 colors. There is a gorgeous, whatever this is. I think that color is so interesting, and I like to use it on stuff when I can. So I thought the background of this would be cool with her green dragon. I didn't really have a plan for this. I didn't even know the dragon was going to be green. I just started. That's kind of how I do some of my pages. But that was my only whip. That's Alessandra Fusi's Fantastic Worlds. And if you can get this book, I so highly recommend it. The paper's great. The images are fantastic. Great book. Okay. Next we're getting into my completed pages now. And this was a gift that you're going to probably hear that more often than not. I have got a lovely ice cold, it's just plain water, no berries in it this time. From my well water is the best. This is the newest, well, no, the newest is Rainy Day, which I totally want because it rains here all the time, and rain is my favorite season. But this is a big adventure coloring book. This is the second to the newest one. And this was a gift to me from Beth, my wonderful silent subscriber, whom I love dearly. And this was, I did this all by myself, nobody. And I did the page that I like the most I did my favorite page, which normally we don't do when we do these books. But I did my favorite page. And I just think this is a lot of fun. It's all alcohol markers. In fact, I was just so wanting to get in this book that I didn't really plan it out. But I have some really light yellow-green markers that I thought would work, making him look like he's a little lit up in Copic. And I don't tend to use those that much, so they were full and juicy. And this is just all pretty much Copic alcohol markers. I loved it because I was a scuba diver for a long time, and this is just adorable. Why she's collecting shells. She must just be free diving because she doesn't have any scuba gear on. But I just wanted to get my hands in this book. This book is so much fun. So thank you, Beth. I love this book very, very much. Now, all of these wonderful gifts that have been given to me, my goal is within the first 2 months of owning them that I get a picture colored in them. So that's why I did so many untouched books this month. Then the next one I did was Wild Summer, which I have to say is going to be the book for 2024. If you don't have this book, you're going to miss out. And I know in the UK right now, I think it's a 3-month waiting list to get it off of Amazon. So it's already selling out. So if you can get it, I would get your little hands on it, because I think this is the best mythographic of them all. And I know that's saying a lot. This one ties with Cosmic Spirit for me. So, and it's nice that they're two our favorite authors, right? They're Joseph and Fabiana. So for Cosmic Spirit, this book's amazing. I'm going to color in this year round. It's just the pictures are phenomenal. And this was a gift. And I did say this was a gift from Tammy Colors too, in another video. And she was like, yeah, I love you, but I didn't give you that book. Then I went back and I realized I'd written it down wrong. And it's Mindful Griff, Cindy, who gave me this book. And I'm so sorry. I need to change it everywhere. And I keep finding, little notes that says gift from Tammy Colors too. So Tammy's totally bogarting your gift right now. That's all I have to say about that. And this one was a buddy with Color and Create with Jana. And we decided together to do, that's my crazy rave sheep that I did last month. We did the polar bear on ice cubes. And I never mark my pages because that, my bookmarks mean something else in my world. So I get confused. But I did this one. So let's look at Janice. This is Janice's page. And she made hers as ice water. Of course, I told her, vodka is colorless, so both of our drinks could be spiked. But she did ice water, and I think her ice looks so good. Ice is hard. It's hard to make it look real. It's what you don't color that's more important when you're coloring glass and ice and frozen things. what's more important is what you don't color than what you do. It has to be very carefully placed color, and then not a lot of it. And I thought her ice looked really cool. It even looks like it's kind of melting, so it's phenomenal. What I did was, we had some of the same colors, of course, because, you know, there's strawberries and oranges and stuff. But I made mine lemonade, and my ice has multiple colors from around it. Like it might be reflecting these colors from the flowers and the berries and stuff. That's how I chose to tackle the ice. And then the ice underwater here, which I think Jenna did hers better, but mine's barely visible. But of course, I guess ice and lemonade wouldn't be very visible. And then everything is alcohol markers, like everything is alcohol markers. Did I use any pencil at all? Yes, I think I did do some shading in the berries and the oranges. But everything's got an alcohol marker base, and some things don't have any shading at all. Like her, she's all alcohol markers, and the umbrella is. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this page. I was on a strawberry kick in July. The strawberries are ripe around here, and I was eating them as much as I possibly could before their short season was over. And so I was really digging coloring strawberries. But that's my page. That's my second page in Wild Winter, Joseph Cattenbang. I have another one scheduled for a buddy in August. And in my August planning video, I'll show you that. So this is just a super duper book. Love it. 2 pieces. Okay, then I have another gift from my silent subscriber, Beth, Around the World, R.J. Hampson. I have fallen in love with these books. I've been gifted 3 now, and I just want to color in them all the time. I know it's Amazon paper, and kind of really bad Amazon paper, actually. It's some of the worst. My markers bleed like crazy. But it's just so cool. It's just so awesome. The drawings are so good. This one was, I did it on my own. I decided to just do, I didn't know if I wanted to do a light version or a dark version. So I went through all the pages, and I found a dark version. Well, first off, let's find the light version. This one has the duplicates with a difference. And here is the day version of the page I did, the pangolin palanquin. And it's cute. You know, it's daytime, and they're all hanging out, and he's trucking along on his pangolin. And the story is Mr. Fogarty and Snail, who is not in this page, discover an unexpected end to the railroad. Alternative arrangements are made en route to Calcutta. So I decided to do the night version because it had Snail in it, and it's so cute. The page is so cute. So let me show you what I did. There. So I did this. I loved how it turned out. Cause look at, okay, you got to see the Snail. He's on a baby pangolin. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. Running like the wind. Go, pangolin, go. So I really love this one. Again, look at the sparkle. That's the super golden markers. You're going to see a theme. They're everywhere. On the pages that I was working on after I got them, everything ended up with it. Again, this is all alcohol markers. There's no pencil at all on this. It's just alcohol markers. This one, you know what? This was before I got the markers. So this shiny gold is the Kiritake Gansai Tombi Starry Colors, the metallic watercolor paint. And it worked really well. You don't use very much. If you don't use very much water, you do watercolor on this paper. Just not a lot. That's right. That's what I did. And then some of this is some cheaper markers. I finished this before I received those super golden markers. So otherwise I would have used them. But I wanted to make him have a light source. I know that's odd, but I just felt really strongly about giving him a light source that was in this palanquin, that he maybe was traveling with a lantern or something. And then I sort of made it bounce off of things. I bounced off the snail a bit. Probably, it's shining off his legs, it's shining off this. Shining off these leaves is probably not actually accurate according to science, but I got a C in science, so I'm not a science person. I'm a reading English lit person. Don't give me truth. Give me fiction. So this is what I did, and I really enjoyed him. I'm so excited. This is a really, really fun book. This is a fantastic book. I don't know what's my favorite. Every time I work in one, I'm like, oh, this one's my favorite. But it changes every time I work in one of them. But this one is very good. If you don't have many of his or any of his, I would recommend this one. And if the paper really just messes with your mind and you hate it and you just can't deal with it, he has lots and lots and lots of downloads on rjhampson.com, his name there, .com. His downloads, though, are curated pages. So it's not whole books like this, but they're packs, and they're really interesting. And some of them are only found on his website. They're not in any of his books. Plus, he has a free newsletter and via email every month you can sign up for, and you get an exclusive page with that. And they're always really good. So if you would prefer to download, he does have a lot of pages on his website. News you can use. All right. The next one I did was out of this little book, which I love. Gosh, I love this book. I bought this book a while ago, and it makes me want Africa and Europa as well. Europa is strangely hard to get in the United States. It's strange. I don't know why. It keeps saying it can't ship it to my location, which is weird. It can ship this one. It can ship Africa, but Europa, it can't. So maybe it's not available in the United States right now. I'm really wanting those two. I probably should have got it back when it was a thing. But I just love this little book. And I've done quite a few in here. The one I did this time was it was a buddy with Diane, Dreams in Color. And it was this wonderful little tropical hut. Now, let me show you Diane's. So this is in Vietnam. So in my head, Diane and I went to Vietnam to visit, but we went at different times. We got our stories mixed up, and she went during the summery, springy season where they're flying kites and they're having a good time and there's sunshine and her octopus is all bright and happy. And it's beautiful. I mean, her page is gorgeous, and you can see the design. The kite is leaving in the sky, and there's all these beautiful colors and such. And it's gorgeous. And Diane's a fantastic colorist. But then I went at the wrong time, didn't meet up with Diane, and ended up there on a stormy day during their stormy monsoon season. So this is definitely stormy. I don't know. When I saw the flying kite, I saw storm. So I made this clouds in the sky, or I even thought maybe it could be a fire going inside, and this is just the smoke from the fire. And then, a stormy sea. That's eyeshadow that I just rubbed on. All this is eyeshadow, the sand, the sky, eyeshadow. Because I wanted to make it, I don't know if turning this up a little bit might help. Let me try turning up the light just a little bit. Can you see the colors? They're like blues and pinks. I mean, I didn't want it all gray. But it looked to me like the trees were blowing and the kite was blowing. And to me, I saw it as a storm. And Diane saw it as a windy, summery day. That's why buddy colors are so much fun. It's so cool to see what everybody sees and how they see it differently. I had a lot of fun with this. What I used, other than the eyeshadow for around here, I used color pencils. I whipped out my color pencils, and I was having a really good time. So there's color, the trees are color. The house is all acrylic paint pen. So there's a lot of acrylic paint pen, all this is, and the waves. But the colors of the waves and the trees are my color pencils. And then this is eyeshadow. And it's, and acrylic paint pens. I found that acrylic paint pens look really good in this book, so I really like them. That's what I did for Rita Berman. All right, I'm going to stop for a minute and get regrouped, and I'll be right back. Okay, the next one I did was out of this gorgeous book. Now, I have only ever done one other, and it was terrible. It's an awful page. And of course, you know, we have those pages where we do that. And so I hadn't come back to this book, and this book was a gift a while back, a long time ago, and I really absolutely love this book. But my one experience in it convinced me that I just couldn't do portraits at that time. So, in fact, I might as well just show it to you since I'm talking about it. So once I figured that out, that I wasn't ready for portraiture, I took a break from this book and got my skills up to where I could figure out how to color. Wow, where is it? That's the one I did. Well, just believe me, it's bad. I couldn't figure out how to do skin. Oh, there it is. Oof. Yeah, so, I didn't know how to use colored pencils yet, and I did all colored pencils, and just rubbed the hell out of it. And so it's got a big bloom on it, and then I couldn't get anything to blend anymore. I just didn't know how to work colored pencils, and I didn't know how to do skin. So I put this book aside, and then kind of a year went by, and I've been doing a few portraits now here and there, and when Kate from Coos Life and Color, this is her name on Instagram, when she was this is her favorite book. And if you follow her, and I highly recommend you do, she has a lot of the pages in this book done, and they're gorgeous. So we decided to do this lady, and I'll show you Kate's first. I think it's Kate. Actually, I don't know if Coos's name is Kate. I'll show you Coos first. And this page is called Wildberry Bloom, and I loved it for the berries. Again, trying to do berries, but it had like strawberry flowers and blackberry flowers, and then it had blackberries hanging from her hair, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And look at the way she does skin. It's so realistic, you know. There's something about her technique that makes it look, I mean, we can tell it's a colored image, but it looks real for some reason. There's something very 3D about the way she colors, and I absolutely love it. All of the pages that she has done, this is her favorite book, and all of the pages she has done are phenomenal. Really, really good. So please do go find her on Instagram and look at all of those pages she's done. They're beautiful. For me, I did it a little bit differently. I made her very fair. I had a vision of a redhead girl, and of course I've never done red hair, so I don't learn my lesson, obviously. So I'm just going to, try something I've never done again in this book again. But so I started with the hair, I believe, or maybe I started with the leaves because I know what leaves look like. I might have started with the leaves. And what I used on this was my Color pencils. I broke out those. I have like the huge giant set of Color pencils, and they worked so well. They're great on this paper. This was before I was gifted the Polychromos set, so I didn't have them at this time. So I did the Color, and I really liked it. Once I got the red hair in, I realized, oh, she needs to be fair-skinned with the green eyes. She needs to be very, Northern European and Scottish looking, Irish looking. So I did that. And I went lighter on my berries. I was a little more realistic with my strawberries. Don't you think they're a little bit better? I'm getting there with my strawberries. And I had fun with the flowers. No, they're not realistic. I realized after I did them pink and white that strawberry flowers actually don't have pink in them. And then, of course, the blackberry flowers are somewhat closer, but not quite. But there's my bee. I hope you guys saw when you were looking at my buddy's page, her butterfly. Here, I'll show it again. Her butterfly is so realistic. I don't know how she did it. I don't know. Some kind of magic. Mine, I was making it a more realistic looking butterfly in colors, and I didn't like it. I thought it clashed with her. So, hey, guess what? You can erase colored pencil. Yeah, welcome to the 21st century, Candice. So I figured out I could erase my colored pencil, and I erased it. And then I decided to make it the same colors as the berries in her hair, and I like it much better. It doesn't stand, I really wanted her hair mostly to stand out, and her face. And the butterfly just sort of blends in, and I kind of like it. I think it's more cohesive now. This came out much better than I thought it would. Looking at it, I was kind of surprised. And when I put it on Instagram, so was everyone else. They're like, whoa, that's very different for you. I usually do like in your face, here's all the colors. I really wanted to do something in all pencil that was soft. And this is not my go-to style of coloring and not something I would do very often, but I really enjoyed it. And I had so much fun with her face. It was like slowly working in the colors, getting it to where it was where I wanted it. You know, it's just little, it was like a lesson in patience, A, but B, having a really light touch. And just going slowly and slowly building the layers. And I know you guys all know this, but it's new to me. I'm a very new pencil colorist. Now that I have that gorgeous set of polychromos that was gifted to me, I can't wait to get back into this book and do one with those. I'm very excited about it. So, yeah, so that was that. Thank you for budding with me, my friend. I really, really enjoyed it. And you got me back into this book, and now I'm not scared of it. I have a success under my belt instead of a horrible failure. And now I want to get back into it. So thank you so much. All righty. Then after that, I felt like I needed easy. I needed just some color by number. Now, this Eclipse is probably one of my favorite color by numbers. These circulism books are fantastic. But this particular one, Chonk, is weird. And I have decided that it must be a horror coloring book in disguise. Because, and this was a gift to me from Melissa Rose way back last year in May. Because look at the colors it calls for. Like, yeah, maybe I could have done better picking the browns. At that time, I didn't have a lot of browns. But it did call for this to be cream, and this to be pink, and this to be violet. Like, what? That's the scariest bear ever. Or maybe it just has rosacea. And that disease where you lose all your hair. I don't know, but that's not what I did this month. That's what that's what I have done. I did redeem it. It did redeem itself with the cover page, which I did a couple months ago. It's like, oh, okay, maybe it was just that one page. But they got kind of weird as it went along. These are past pages. Yeah, strange color combinations, strange, just strange stuff. This is the one I did. Yeah, this is the one I did. Now, that's a penguin, of course. I'm not sure why there's brown on it and what the brown is supposed to do. But I like this part. I thought it was really pretty. And the background being pink and purple is fun. Not sure why we went into green and purple. It's just that in every other Eclipse circulism book, he's got, the colors are great. They're very cohesive and they're beautiful. The colors in this one are weird. The way that he's put together. Just strange. It's just an off book. But I used, which acrylic paint? I used a lot of different acrylic paint pens in here. I can tell that some of these really nice ones are the Thule Arts. And then some of these other are some old Chinese ones that are just no name brand that I haven't gotten rid of, but I'm using them until they're dead on these books. It's just the most satisfying thing to just circle, 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 circle. And this is going to be out of order, but at the very end of the month, I was really wanting actually it was last night. I was just wanting to sit and do circles. I couldn't, I thought I should be working on my whip, but I really just couldn't. I just wanted to do circles. So I randomly opened it up to one, and I did this one, which confirmed to me that this is a horror coloring book. What the hell is this? Okay, I think it's a corgi, but oh my God, it's the scariest. I don't know what it is, but that is terrifying. So now this book is actually a humorous book for me because I never know the crazy color combinations that are in this book. And I don't know, why do the eyes look like that? It's just an effort to make everything look fat, but it looks terrifying. like this giant mouth. It really looks like some sort of cryptid, you know? So that was the last page I did in July. And I laughed and laughed about it. So yeah, I'm now having a lot of fun with this book now that I understand it's basically jump shocks, you know, and jump scares. So I'm doing more in it. I can't wait to see what else he came up with in that book. And then didn't feel like, although I had just done that penguin, I really felt like I wanted to get into some more of this. This is one of my Disney Hatchet. I have the 2 Looney Tunes, which I love. And I hear that there's a 3rd coming out. The Looney Tunes are the cartoons I grew up with, so I really love them. I have one of the Mickeys. I think it's Mickey and Friends, or Mickey, is it Mickey and Friends or Mickey, Donald and Co.? It's one of those. And then I have this tune. Really, the other, there are 2 more I would like to get. I would love to get that Tomb 11 with the double pages. Oh my gosh, double pages. Because I always do 2 pages anyway at a time. And I would love to get the Smurfs. I didn't think I would want the Smurfs because, like, wow, that's a lot of blue. But like most of you who flipped through it have seen, it isn't a lot of blue. I mean, there is blue, but there's also a lot of greens and browns. This is what I did before. I do 2 pages at once, or within a short time of each other, because then I like to paint the side, because I just don't like to see one not done. I like to look at it and see it all done. I think it looks cool. So the ones I did were this one, and they're landscape. So the first one I kind of did it simultaneously. This, of course, is joy and sadness in one of my favorite movies. And I think this is when sadness takes over the controls, and joy gets to see how sadness can relate with the little girl better than joy could in that moment. And joy learns that this was a really important point for me in this movie. This movie was hard for me to watch. What's funny is I had just left my woods and where I grew up here in Oregon and moved to the Bay Area of California, which is all concrete, 10-lane freeways, you know, millions of people, and to live with the love of my life. And it was a very quick decision. And I'd only been down there to visit once and didn't realize how different it was going to be. And I was very out of place, under a lot of stress. I did not understand the culture or how to get around. And my friend said, my best friend lived in the area, and he said, let me take you to a movie. So we went and saw Inside Out. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember this plot of the story, but the protagonist, the young girl, leaves her woods. I think it's Michigan or somewhere. She leaves her, her hockey playing in her woods and her rural, and she moves to the Bay Area, to San Francisco, right? And she has this huge adjustment period. At one point, my friend looks over at me and I'm just bawling, crying. He's like, I'm so sorry. If I had known this was the plot, I wouldn't have brought you to this movie. Do you want to go? And I'm like, no, let's just see how it turns out. And it turned out to be an amazing movie. But like Joy, I kind of had thought that being happy was the goal in life. That happiness was meant everything was okay. That you needed to always work towards happiness. And this movie was so profound for me because I kind of went along Joy's journey, because that's where I was. Happy, happy, happy. And if you're not happy, something's really wrong and you have to work really hard to get back to being happy. But the science that's in this movie, and just watching these really beloved cartoon characters that I could really relate to go through all this, because I was already invested, because it was my story. And then to watch how there's a time and a place for every emotion. Being joyful all the time is not the goal. The goal is, and this was before I was a nun, before I really got into Buddhism, the goal is to just relieve our own discomfort and our own suffering. And sometimes that means letting sadness take control. And it was just so profound for me. So when I saw this, I was really excited. So that's something to think about. If you're feeling sad today, that's your feelings today. And there's no goal to feel anything else. Just do whatever you need to ease your discomfort. while you are feeling that sadness. And it will pass, I promise. So this was, I fought with this a bit because I was in transition. I was just starting to get some Tule yards. I was using not Tule yards because I hadn't been gifted some of the sets that I was gifted yet. And they sort of arrived while I was struggling with this page. And so I started going over them with the Tule arts. And I think it looks a little rough up close, but it looks pretty good there. This page went easier. I had better pens. This outside is a metallic acrylic that I just painted. I don't know, apple barrel or something. I think that's Jafar, right? And Iago. This one I wasn't sure what was going on for a long time. I mean, I knew it was Jafar, I knew it was him, but I didn't know what was happening over here. And so it kind of came together as I was coloring it. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I broke the rule that I learned on the last one of these where I said I'm never doing one of these big swatches in paint pen. I'm going to do them in paint with a brush. I didn't. I was too lazy to get it out. But these were not Tule arts that I used, so I would never use a Tule art on all that. It's just too expensive. But I had a really good time. So this is the spread that I did this month. I'm kind of going in order, so I'll probably next do these. This is a fun book. I think not too, well, there's the Wicked Queen. Not too busy, just busy enough. All right, what did I do next? Oh yes, I guess I was in a color by number mood. I had done some really difficult pages and I was just taking a little break, doing some easy stuff. Of course, at the same time that that's not really accurate because I'm working on a lot of pages at once. So I had some really difficult pages I was working on. And in between nights of working on those, I would do, whenever I needed a break, would do a color by number, which is done in a few hours. Well, not the Hatchet Hero one. That one took days, but these are done in just an hour or two. So that's why you're seeing these. I did finish these before, but at the same time, I was working on some pretty intense pages. This is an older one that I have. These are African animals. This is a Sealy Zuri. I like this one a lot. Which one did I do? Oh, which one did I do? I did the giraffes. I did this one. Isn't that pretty? See, now the colors make sense here. And it's like this in every single other circulism book I have. It's just chalk is weird. But this was a lot of fun. I did get to use, at this point, I think I still just had the earth tone set because this is all looks like earth tones to me. Tule arts, and then some of these brighter colors were older acrylic paint pens I have. But I thought that was such a cute little picture. These are just, I tell you, these are just so much fun to do. They really, really are. That one turned out very strange because of my color choices. But these are just a lot of fun. This was done with Sharpies. Sharpies. I didn't use acrylic paint pens until, in this book, until, well, I think the drafts. Yeah, all this is still Sharpies until this page. So, yeah, so there was that. Another color by number. Okay, then I finished some buddies. So I am going to get regrouped and be right back. All right. So the next one I did was out of this wonderful book. I love this book. I love all of Morgan O'Brien's. I especially, love Matchstick Mouse, but Annie Day just really hits home for me. These are all the things I love to do. And this was a buddy. Let me go back to my page. This was a buddy with Shannon. And here is her Instagram name. Now, Shannon has been wanting to get into this book. And I can't remember, Shannon, did you already have other pages done? I think she might have. But she loves this book, and I do too. So we decided to do a buddy in this one. And we did. Doop-de-doo. This was the first. This one. We did this one. Now, Shannon's, let's look at Shannon's. I love her color scheme. Oh my gosh. I want to be there. I want to be on those pillows right now. I would never leave that little nook. I think it's just so cool. And it's so beautiful. She really has got coloring this creature down. And I look forward to doing more buddies with her in this book. We are doing another one in August. And I don't know, maybe just keep on going. I mean, it's a lot. This book is a lot of fun. I went, and this is the cool thing about buddies, I went completely different. I've been kind of coloring her in a sort of a mid-century mod color scheme. It just feels like that to me. Like that's, I don't know why. But I kind of kept it to that color scheme, kind of browns and greens, and mine were, yellows, browns, and greens. With some nice gold. Now that's probably the Kuretake Gansai Tombi watercolors. Yes. Now I had received, no, I had not. This was all alcohol markers. And then there is some polychromos shading, but it would have been with my little 24 set that I had. That's getting shorter and shorter. This was before I was gifted that beautiful set. So there's a little bit of shading of polys. But this is mostly alcohol markers. For some reason, I like to make her hair pink. It's a different color every time. And so are her eyes. Everything's different. Sometimes she's a different color. I liked the colors, though, that Shannon used. So I'm thinking I might try branching out from her being brown. Because I think so far, all I've made her is brown. Yeah, she had pink hair there. Just different shades of brown. But isn't that where you want to be, right? Propped up with pillows, reading a book with a cup of hot chocolate or tea on a rainy day and your best friend all snuggled up next to you. I just love this book. Absolutely love this book. The only other one I've done was a tester page I did, and it was the one with the chickens because I have chickens. And I was just testing out some mediums on that. That's the other one I've done. But this is a really fun book. I love this book. I'm looking forward to doing another page in it for August. Oh my gosh, we're almost in August. Okay, and then the next finished one I had was another color by number. And this is a beautiful gift. This gift is from Beth, again, my silent subscriber. I love this one. This one is, the colors are just like this. They're beautiful, bright colors, even though it's an ocean themed one. So I did two in July out of this one. The very first one I did was the jellyfish. I don't know why I didn't start at the beginning. Often I start at the beginning or the end. Not sure. But I just opened it up and saw jellyfish and I wanted to do them. And look at those colors. Oh, I love the colors. Now see, Eclipse made a really nice, happy book. I don't know what's wrong with chalk, but it is funny. I thought this was gorgeous, this whole rainbow thing he's got going on. And then I chose to make whatever this color this was to be gold. That's when I started playing with some metallics in these. I'm like, well, I don't have to straight color it. I could put metallics here and there. So I started experimenting with that going forward. I just thought this was a lot of fun. Again, these are really neat. They don't have, that's more colors than they normally have, but I think it was to give it the rainbow effect. And if you have any kind of, Sharpies work really good in this. Alcohol markers work good. Water-based markers. I did one in water-based markers just the other day. They do good. I wouldn't do them in pencils. That would be a ridiculous amount of work. But pens just zoop, zoop, zoop. If you have dot markers, and they're the right size for the circles, that would be cool. But I just thought this one turned out really neat. And I was so thrilled when I did it. I just love this book. Thank you, Beth. This book is a lot of fun. So I busted into it last night. It was very, very late. And I couldn't go to sleep. And I was obsessed. So I did another one in here last night. Didn't I? Oh, no. That was, no. It wasn't in this book. It's in another gift book. Yeah, I just got stuck on circulisms and just started whipping out the books and doing circulisms. They're very, very relaxing. I can't wait to do another one in this one. I might start one tonight because I'm really excited about these colors and that he's chosen to make this book really bright and beautiful. I mean, I only know this from this page and this page, but that's 2 for 2 are bright and beautiful, so I'm really excited. So thank you, Beth, so much. This book is a beloved book of mine, for sure. Okay. So the reason I was doing all those color by numbers was because I had some big pages I was working on. I finally finished this one. Now, this, I've had buddies in Vengeful Forest 1 or 2 a month for a while, so there's been quite a few pages I've done in Vengeful Forest. It's a fantastic Mythagoria. It's not the least gory. I think I went over this when I entered my Mythagorias into my new coloring book inventory book. If you get Night Terrors, I think is the least gory. That's the one that one of the ones that Fabiana did. I ranked them in that video. This is like mid-range gory. The new Fabiana one is really gory. This is Chili Carroll, who I love. And any minute this fall, she's coming out with a new mythographic, and I can't not wait. It's Magical Apothecary, and I just love her style. But this one was a buddy with my dear friend, Ambient. I always call her Ambient. It's Back Up. I did 2 in here. So this first one is with the fiction kitten. Now, I'll show you her page. That's her page. This is my favorite page. I did my 2 favorite pages in the book this month. So the fiction kitten and I both felt that this page conveyed so much emotion. There's so much feeling happening here, and we really wanted to do it. And we did it 2 completely different ways. So this is hers, and the way she describes it is feeling as if all the life is sucked out of you and you just want to curl up into yourself and become non-human anymore, just return to nature. So, massive sorrow, massive disappointment maybe. And I think she really conveyed that well with the person being in that black and white, gray tones, and then the nature, especially the apples being so brightly, but she made the apples rotting, which they're actually drawn that way. They're drawn rotting. She did such a good job coloring them. I just think it conveys so much emotion. I absolutely love it. And that's the fiction kitten. So here's her name. And if you get a chance to go over to her page and see some of her drawings, they're fantastic. Her colorings, excuse me. What I did was a little different. So what I did, of course, had all the color. Now, it's got washi tape around the sides here. What I thought, I wanted it to show sorrow as well. I didn't think I achieved that. I didn't know what I achieved. But then Kitten, she said, well, it looks like this person is gaining life force from the tree. So it's pulling life into itself rather than retreating. It's actually pulling life into itself. And I thought, that does kind of look like that. I made the apples glow where I could. So I gave them some glowing effects, like it was dusk, but these apples have a life force and they're glowing. And then, of course, we both kind of gave the same treatment to the bones that seem to be leaving the body. Made them look very realistic. But I loved the way the apples turned out. I have to say that I kind of had my mind shut off for this entire coloring. It's not a negative thing, but almost like I went on autopilot and just let the colors happen. I can't tell you why I chose those colors. I can't tell you much about it. I wanted to make the water, sludgy type. I like to make swamps look like they're glowing, and I think that was intentional, and I wanted to make the bones the way I always make bones. But when it came to this, I don't remember a lot of coloring this. It's like I kind of just went off into another world and colored it. And I don't know what it says, but I do like it. I like it a lot. This is just such an intense page. It's got to be one of the most beautiful in the book. Absolutely stunning. I can't wait to see more people color this because I just think it's an amazing book. But I had another buddy in this book. And this one, I didn't finish till later in the month. But she finished hers. And so let me flip to it. And we'll just do it while I'm here. This one is a buddy with Ambient Landscapes, who I call Ambient. And this is her name. And let's look at her page. So this is the frog coming out of the tree, or the multiple frogs, or the frog with 2 heads and several legs. I don't know. It's freaky. But it's coming out of a tree, and hers is gorgeous, especially those moths. I love the way she did her moths. I think she's got this beautiful picture, but then you look closer at the image and it's terrifying. Like, the thing has way too many legs and eyes and that tongue. And so it's almost like, hey, look at my pretty picture. Ah, psych, it's freaky. And so I love it. I love when beauty and horror come together. And I just think it's much more effective and poignant than just straight coloring something bloody and scary. When you color it, there's this disconnect that happens when a page is this pretty, but it's a terrifying subject. And I just think she did this fantastic job. She's an amazing colorist. Again, follow her on Instagram. Fantastic pages. She loves the horror. And if you're into horror too, she has a channel on, she has an Instagram chat for horror colorists where and I'm a part of that, and where we don't have to censor anything. We can just talk about how is the best way to color a bloody heart and what do you do with it. It's like, so it's really interesting group. Now, when I saw that page, I couldn't get something out of my head. So let me show you what I did. It's the very next page. Yeah. I saw the Michigan frog. You guys know the Michigan frog, right? Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. You know that, right? The frog, it was at Warner Brothers, and the frog was locked away in a box in a time capsule, and there was some construction being done, and this guy found the time capsule box, and he opens it up, and there's this frog. And the frog has a top hat and a cane and starts singing Ragtime Gal. And the guy's like, what? And he won't stop. And he's annoying as hell. But the guy thinks, wait a minute, I can make some money off him. So he gets a stage. And every time he gets him out on stage to do his thing, the frog just sits there. And he'll try like, come on. And he'll move his legs and he'll move his mouth. But the frog just sits there and goes, ribbit. And then the second he takes him off and he's alone again, the guy's singing and never stops all night long, just sings and sings and sings. And then he gets him out. So he takes him to a talent scout, pulls the frog out of the box, and he just sits there. It's the funniest cartoon. It's hilarious. And in the end, he locks him up in another time capsule box because he just can't deal with him. When I saw that frog coming out of the tree, I had 2 things in mind. One, I've done so much in here in Vengeful Forest, and every page has trees. I just didn't want to color another tree. 2, all I could think of was the Michigan frog coming out on stage and dancing. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. So I decided to make it scary. What I did was I took acrylic paint and totally sacrilegiously covered those beautiful moths. And I just did my favorite... This is this Hemi or is this Rosa Watercolors? I think this is Hemi Gouache. And I painted like a dark circus stage curtain and an old floor. There's a floor there. And that was all in that gouache. And then I just did the frog, and I had to paint around, and the painting was a little fussy at times. I didn't like it sometimes, but the nice thing about paint is you just let it dry and you go over it again. And then his hands are just kind of really roughly done in various paint, just to make it just kind of scary and different from his face. I wanted to make his face really stand out. So his face is alcohol markers and some acrylic paint pens. And then what I did was I went online and got an image of a top hat, and I sent it to my Cricut cutter, and my Cricut cutter cut it out, and I made it the size I wanted. The first one I made was too big, but this worked. And then I delicately, very delicately, took my my sharp little, let's say this is my sharp little knife. I have a sharp knife, and I just cut here, and I slipped the hat underneath it. Now I printed it out on sticker paper, so it was sticky. So I peeled off the backing, slipped underneath there, and just stuck it down. So it's a sticker. I also did this in the scariest font I could find, and then kind of contorted the words to make them look scarier. And I printed them out on sticker paper. And it says, let's see, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. And I wanted to make it kind of scary. Now, if you don't know the story, I don't know how it reads. For those of you that didn't recognize the story, the Michigan Frog story, I'm hoping it still reads as sort of strange. You know, he obviously has a top hat. Hopefully that reads as a stage and a curtain. And maybe he's just coming out saying some creepy words. That's good enough. But for those of you that got it, I posted this on Instagram. A lot of people are like, thanks, that song's now stuck in my head because they remember the cartoon. So this is heavily, heavily altered. Believe you me, I'm as surprised as you were that I took paint to this page, because this is my other favorite page in the book. I love this page, and look what I did to it. I went slop and just covered it up. No more tree, no more beautiful moths, nothing. But I tell you, it took me half the month to do that, to actually take the first step. I just could not get the Michigan Frog out of my head. I start to color it, and I'm like, hello, my baby. I'm like, God, I couldn't get it out of my head. So I finally just gave into the voices in my head and did it. And this is a nod to Doodles, who is never, my friend Doodle Robot, who is never afraid to alter a page. She's the one who taught me that it's okay to do this to coloring pages. It's not sacrilegious. You can do this to your coloring books. Anyway, I hope you like it. This is one of my favorite pages of the month. I just really, really had a good time once I finally committed to destroying it. It was a lot of fun. All right, let me get regrouped, and I'm going to show you some more. All right, The Secret World of Frog. Have you guys seen this book? This book is adorable. I absolutely love it. This was another gift. I received so many gifts, and I'm so overwhelmed and just so filled with joy. Thank you guys so much. This one is from my friend Rachel. She's at Jelly Starburst. This is Lucy Hatter, who draws this book. It is cute. Now, and look, you can go to the website, sign up for their newsletter, and get a free frog coloring page. This paper's terrible. This is reminiscent of the Angela Gonzalez paper with the sea of colors and all those. But the images are so adorable. I mean, come on. Who's not going to want to color that? So I did this page. And on the other side, they all have a quote. So there's the quote for this page. And I was testing out mediums. I had received my precious in the mail. So that's, oops, I didn't mean to bump you guys, sorry. So that's all over the place here. So this is alcohol markers. Yeah, see, I don't mind covering up the quotes. This is all alcohol markers, and they worked out. They're actually gorgeous on this paper. You have to be careful, they do bleed, which is one of the reasons I outlined everything in gold, acrylic. But look how smooth they are. I mean, there's no streaking at all. So even and this streaking is on purpose. I was trying to shade. So even though it's terrible paper, alcohol markers are gorgeous on it. So I wouldn't shy away from this if I were you. I don't know how pencils will do. Let me see. It's really, really smooth. I'm not sure. This is a couple different eyeshadows around here. A shimmery blue-green and a shimmery gold-brown. to just sort of make a weird background sky. And then, of course, I outlined everything in various super golden markers. And I like the way it turned out. I did. Even though this was a practice page, I think it turned out pretty well. All of the shimmery stuff really makes it, I think. And that frog is so freaking cute. So I don't know if you guys have this book. I don't think it's really common for colorists to get it, but it's on Amazon. And it's so, I mean, you can't, and the lines are light, so they're easy to go over. You just can't, I mean, he's so cute. It's the cutest frog I've ever seen. And oh my God, and his little butt. I want to do all the pages in this book. So that was my first trial run in this book. I didn't pick my favorite page, but I do like the way it turned out. So I'm really excited about working more in this book, The Secret World of Frog. Okay. Then I decided I needed to do something off of my list before I got all these wonderful gifts. And one of my planned pages was to do my second out of the Coloring Heavens Jash Lee Mythical Hybrid Special. And, you know, I've done the alligator, and she was a lot of fun. In fact, I'll put a picture of her here. She was a lot of fun, and it's fun printing this out on really good paper, so that's nice. So that's my alligator. So I just went to the next one, which is armadillo. They're in alphabetical order. And this is the armadillo mythical hybrid. Now, some of these pages, the human that's in it is a hybrid animal, and some of them, they're just with the animal. She or he has got, I think it's a she, she's got armadillo, like leather clothing on, but she's not part armadillo like some of them are. And then I decided to make her armadillo look like it was a spirit armadillo behind her, because it's really big. It's, you know, it's a huge armadillo. I thought I'd just kind of like make it a spirit animal. But then once I got it all, this is white acrylic paint, and I did several layers to make it, to give it some texture so it's floofy, like clouds. You can feel it. It's really cool. And I like the colors that I did in it in alcohol marker. But once I got it done, I'm not sure you can see it very well. Can you tell that it's just curled up like armadillos do? There's its tail and its front feet. I don't know if you can see it or not. I still like it, even though it might be hard to see what it's doing. But it's drawn kind of strangely too, so. This Coloring Heaven is one of my very favorites. I only have one that I bought as a book. The rest of them I've downloaded. And this one is one of my favorites. These are some of my favorite Jash Lee drawings. I think he did an amazing job with these. They're kind of anime-ish, some of them are. As you saw, the alligator one wasn't. But this one is kind of anime-ish, some of them are. And I just love it. So the next one in the book is, hold on, let's look. I've been wanting to try out to see if you can see with all the lights and reflecting, if you can see my iPad, and it looks like you can. So this is the Coloring Heaven Mythical Hybrid Special. It looks like this. Some of you have this. You can download these off of their Etsy, off of Coloring Heaven's Etsy shop for like $6. I mean, they're really affordable. And this is the alligator one that I did. And this is the armadillo one that I did this month. And the next one is, axolotl. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We need to do this one. Hopefully you can see it. Probably if I dimmed my screen, it'd be a little bit easier. But oh yeah, she is cute. Look at her. Oh, she's adorable. She's an axolotl. See, she is part axolotl. She's got the gill things there, and she's got, she's got feet. She's got feet. But oh my gosh, that's adorable. Yeah, that's got to happen. I should add that to my August plans, and hopefully I could get to it. I think I will. I'll leave this out and leave that with my August plans. But anyway, this is the armadillo. So I love doing these, and it just reminds me how much fun it is to color on good paper. This paper, people have asked me, is the Neenah, Neena, N-A-H, Nina brand. And I know many of you use it. A lot of you use the Nina Bristol Vellum. This is the Nina Solar White, or they changed their name to Astro Bright White. And then I just saw on Amazon they changed it again to Bright White. I think it's 95 pounds. And but I like it. But once this pack is out, I'm going to try the vellum because I know most of you use the vellum. All right, so that was one of the PDFs I did. Then I got into another gift book, Quirkles. Okay, we're going to go as far as we can without showing my pajamas. But this is a huge book. This is Quirkles, and this was a gift from Carrie K. And this is the one where it circles, you know, and you take four or five, some of them have 5 colors of whatever you want, but they have to go from light to dark. So they can be different colors, they can be the same colors, they can be all black, but you use different shadings, light to dark. And then your 1s are your darkest colors, and your 4s or 5s, if they go to 5, are your lightest colors. And then you set the gradient. And then you just color these circles, and up comes an image. So I did one in here. I don't know how I chose. I guess I just chose one. I wanted to try out acrylic paint pens in here, because now that I have them, and I've never done them before, I did the frog. And then there are some extra circles around here, and I chose to paint over them. You don't have to. Some of the finished works they show in here, they don't. They just leave the circles colored, and they still leave the extra bits out, and it looks pretty cool. But I decided I wanted to paint white over those. So I used paint and paint pens and did the frog. Now, I screwed up and I got my gradation wrong. That one is dark, and I did something wrong. And some of these, it's not right. The shading's not right, which is why it looks a little odd. But I'm getting in the groove. Now, I've done these before with alcohol markers in the book I had before, and I've done it with just regular watercolor markers. I'm having, my light doesn't like me. I'm having a lot of fun doing it in acrylic markers. I think that is really cool. So I'm going to have to pause and fix my light. So my light actually overheated and died. One of my lights that I use for filming. Now, I don't know once it cools down if it will come back online, but it is held together with packing tape and a prayer. So it must be time for me to get another light. So we'll see if we can keep going with this light. I'm going to check out this little piece of film and see if it's decent enough to keep going. If not, I'll have to cut this into 2 parts. Okay, hold on. You know, I think we can do it. We can continue. It wasn't contributing that much. It just sort of lightens up this area so it's not so dark. But I've filmed for months and months with just this light up here, so let's just do it. All right, my next book is Magical Woodland. I know a lot of you have this book, and I now understand why. This is by Kate Pellerin. This book, phenomenal drawings, phenomenal paper. One-sided. It's just a super book. This was a gift. This was a gift from, again, Rachel at Jelly Starburst. And I freaking love this book. So I had to do a page right away, which I did. I did my first page. Now, we're going back to color. Lots and lots of color. I really had a good time with this page. I had so much fun. It's mostly just alcohol markers. I mean, it's the same picture on the back. It's alcohol markers with some bling in there. There's a silver gel pen in there. There's a little bit of bling. There's a little bit of acrylic paint pens as well. Now, I tried to make it look like this is glass, but I got overexcited with the reflection marks, and it looks like it's raining, which I kind of think I like better anyway. So, you know, hey, whatever. But I wanted to make it look very magical, a little bit cartoony. And I like the way she turned out. I like it. I like the blend I did in her little hat thing, or her head, her leaves. And I just think this, I would like to be here. It's all colorful and fun and planty. Yeah, I really had a good time. This was a pretty fast coloring. It just took me a couple days, and it was so enjoyable. Alcohol markers just glide on this paper like butter, and they don't bleed. This is the perfect paper for alcohol markers. So every single page is going to be done in alcohol markers. In fact, I need to add this to August as well. This book, it's one of my very favorites now. And so, yeah, we're going to put it aside for August. Wait till you see my August plans. Yikes. Okay. Then I had my other PDF of the month, and this is by Draw Ghoul, and I'll put her name there. You can find her on Etsy. And this is, she does these really fantastic characters, very simplistic, but so fun. Her images are. She has several different characters. This is her frog, and she has a frog pack, several different packs of her frogs doing things. And this pack was from her, I wrote it down, from her bed frog? I call it bed frog. No, this is called bed frog. This is from a pack of them of the frog doing some relaxing activities. Then there's like during autumn and during winter, and there's all different, and it's like 4 or 6 pack. Anyway, maybe only a 3. Might be only a 3 pack. Just a few dollars. And what I did on this was, I'll show you what I did. I worked with 2 different acrylic markers. My Prime Day gift to myself was some very cheap acrylic markers. Let me pull the others out. They were on a huge sale. This is the new top, however you say that. And then the gravy. Now, these were both at a huge sale, and I wanted to see which ones I liked better. So I played with them both, and I'll have to say it's hard to tell. I think the gravies flow better when I'm using them. However, they also ended up a little more streaky than the Neotop did. And I think it's because they've just got more juice to them. Because I had more streaks, and I think you can see that. I had more streaks with the gravies than I did the Neotop, which I did there. Their streaks, well, maybe because it's just a lighter color, because it was pretty streaky. Using them, they're both enjoyable to use, but I enjoyed using the gravy better. Not so much that I would pay a lot more for them, but there's some other benefits too. They're bigger. Their barrels are, this is a mess. Their barrels are transparent, so you can see how much ink is in. They're bigger, so they hold more ink. They're heavier, so they hold more ink. They're very true to their colors. So are these Neotop. I feel like I'm holding a more expensive pen when I'm holding these, but really they're very, very similar. I mean, can you even tell that I use 2 different pens? And I mix and match down here. Now, some of this is alcohol markers. Yeah, some of this is alcohol markers. But the walls here, I tried the 2 different. And honestly, I would just take the ones that are on sale. If these are on sale, I think these are a little bit better. But really, I mean, and the reason I got these on that super duper sale was because I don't want to use my Toolie Arts in all those, circulism. Yeah, I don't want to waste my expensive Toolie Arts on color by numbers, but I want to use acrylic markers on color by numbers. So I saw those on a deep discount on Prime Day, and I got them. And I'm really happy with them. I love them. But so this is what I did. It's mostly alcohol markers. There's some of the super golden marker in there. There's some shiny blingy stuff. The lights are shiny blingy. And this is me in my coziest stuff, propped up on pillows, totally falling asleep while I was in the middle of doing something. That's what I do. I've been wanting to do this page for months. I've had it printed and in my folder to do for a long time, just because this page makes me really happy. And I'm so glad I got to do it. It was very, very restful on the mind. Her coloring is easy, but still really fun. So yeah, I highly recommend Draw Ghoul on Etsy. Okie dokie. Then another gift. Woohoo! Another color by number. Symmetry is one I've been wanting for a long time because everything that's on this side is done over on this side. I think maybe some of them are also top to bottom, but I know right to left they're symmetrical, they're the same, which makes my brain very, very happy. So they're very balanced. It's also easy to find things. If I know I've done, 10 browns over here, if I go over here, I'm going to find 10 browns too. So it's easier not to miss circles. And this was a gift from, guess who? Rachel, Jelly Starburst. I tell you, this person is spoiling me. And I ended up doing, this is the one where I did this one during the month. And see what I mean by everything here is the same as everything over here. So it's just my brain loves that. It loves to look at it. It loves to color it that way. And these colors are crazy bright. And that's another thing I like about symmetry, because when I've seen flip throughs and stuff of this one, they're very bright colors, and I love that. Well, last night when I was fighting sleep and doing all the, during the other circulism ones, I did one in here. So here's the second one I did this month. And I love this one. I ended up, now looking on camera, I should have made these purples metallic, because there is a purple metallic in the Super Golden markers. I decided to start playing with metallics, and I put some metallic marker over some of the red, and I thought that was kind of fun, added more to the page. But isn't that pretty? Like, see, this is what circulism books usually are like, not like Chonk. They're usually like this, really bright, beautiful colors. I love them. I love them. And you can do them in pastels if you want to, but I don't. So I do in bright colors. So I had so much fun doing this. Oh my gosh. Because not only was it like everything on the left was everything on the right, everything above was everything below. And I was just like, yes, symmetry. And I did this I actually used water-based markers, some very cheap water-based markers I have. And I like it. I can, if I look, still see the numbers, but not so much that I don't mind it. So, hey, that was good too. And they're even faster than using acrylic paint pens, because you don't really have to wait. There's not much drying time to wait for. And when you color, you don't have to be exact, because especially if you get this superior paper, it's not the same with the regular paper, which is like newspaper. You want the superior paper, which is this black, shiny, somewhat shiny paper, because when you take your marker, if you go over, it just absorbs into the black and you don't see it. So it looks like I was really good with all these circles. I wasn't. I was using brush markers. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I was making all kinds of errors, but you don't see the errors because they kind of sink into the black. With alcohol markers, it does it even more. So that's why it looks so good. So I really like the water-based markers. So I think I'm going to start doing that, because you will see errors with paint pens because they stand out from on the black. So you have to be much more careful with paint pens. But with water-based markers, you don't. And I think that actually looks cleaner. Yeah. So this book is total fun. If you like things to be equal and it makes the world right for you, this is a really, really great book. Love it. Thank you, Rachel, so much. I'm going to leave that one out because I'll probably play with it tonight. When it's really late, I have to color every night before I go to bed. I just can't not do that. But when it's really late, I just have to limit it to like a circulism or something, because I can't get into a big page. I need to be going to sleep at some point. Okay, this is another gift, and I love it so much. This is from Stephanie Napolitan, and this is her name. She sent me this, the Manga Sparkle. Now, this K Camaro has another one that's not, it's cute. I don't remember the name, but it's cute images. They're not creepy cute. And this is the one, and it's the same. It's the Manga Sparkle. It's such a fun book. That cover is gorgeous. I can't, every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, don't mess it up, Candice, because that's beautiful. Don't ding it up like you always do everything. But the images in this are fantastic. They're partly colored in with this. In the other one, the cute one that's not creepy, they're colored in with the pink. In this one, it's more of a violet, or maybe you'd say a lavender. And I know I flipped this when I got it in my Happy Mail. This makes me happy. These are adorable. They're not creepy at all. They're creepy and cute. Well, his brains are showing, so that's kind of gross. But look, oh my God, they're so much fun. So I did a tester page. It's kind of all over the place. I warn you now. I just wanted to test different things in it. So I tested some super golden markers and alcohol markers and acrylic paint pens, and I tested a bunch of stuff on here. And it's all great. It's all great. This is very similar paper to the woodland one because the alcohol markers just glide. I mean, it's pretty good paper. It's a little thinner than the woodland one, but it's pretty good. It is super smooth. I didn't even try pencils. I don't know if pencils would work on this at all. But for markers, it's single-sided, and, I've got a lot of sparkly stuff in there, and I just really, really like this book. It's so much fun with markers, and it's a way to do some easy coloring, but not, have a kind of a dumb picture. The pictures are great. But yes, they're easy coloring and fun, but they're also fun final products. So why not? I can't wait to do another one in here. This is just such a fun book. It really is. So yeah, that was my first one out of here. Thank you so much, my friend Stephanie. This book is a treasure in my collection. Let me tell you, it really is. Okay, we're getting towards the end, sort of. Mythographic Cosmic Spirit. I haven't done a tarot page in a hot minute, and I haven't done a tarot video this month. I usually do one a month of the cards, and we're on the card Justice right now, and I haven't done it. I have been just I've got a lot of videos out, but my videoing schedule was a little disrupted by the weather, since I can only do it late at night when I have the air conditioning off, and that kind of limits me. So I haven't been able to get that video out. But my friend Mindy was doing Justice. She was coloring and I found out, and I was like, oh, let me buddy along with you, because I want to do a tarot page this month, and that's the card we're on. So we did Justice, and this is what Mindy did, Mindy Bride. Now, she did, and hopefully I've shown her Instagram name across the screen here. She did this is a pelican for Justice, and it's holding scales, and it is gorgeous. I keep saying this, and I looking at it closely, I'm not sure why I'm saying this, but the pouch on this pelican on hers looks like it's a sunrise or a sunset or some kind of deserty sky. I mean, it's really neat. It looks like a sky to me, like it's a sky scene. And then her colors, I mean, even the eye of the bird is beautiful. Like, she picked some really, really beautiful colors, and it's just such a pretty page. Mindy's very talented. Yeah, check out her Instagram. She's also very involved in the coloring community. She happens to be the sister of another famous colorist, so she is in the community, in it to win it. So I kind of joined in late. She was already, working on it. So I jumped in, and I did this. Now, I had no idea what to do. So I thought, well, why don't I do what other smart colorists do and pick a palette? I never do that. So I went on Google search and searched for images for pelican color palette, thinking there's got to be, because I don't even know what colors pelicans are. We don't have pelicans here. So pelican color palette. Okay, that didn't pull up what I thought it would pull up. Obviously, there's not a pelican color palette, but there is a pelican nebula in space. And here's a picture of the Pelican Nebula. Now, these colors are enhanced. From what I understand, our modern day telescopes can be enhanced so that we get the colors of space if we could see them somewhat accurately. They're not sure that these are exactly what the colors are. We can't see the colors in space, but the images, they could very well look like this. So this is the Pelican Nebula, and I'm like, those colors are gorgeous. So that's the palette I took. So here's my picture. It's the colors of the Pelican Nebula, and it's just bold, bright, and beautiful. It's alcohol markers everywhere, and then pretty much everything. I went to town with the super golden markers. Pretty much everything is what am I saying? Outlined in that, and some things just plain are that. And really, whenever I got stuck, I just looked at that palette page and went from there. So I pulled colors. I would scribble on a paper and then hold it up next to it, and I just picked colors from there, and that's what I did. So there was no other plan other than that, just pulling colors off of that Pelican Nebula page. And that was fun. I'm going to try to do that some more because when you don't know what to do, picking a palette kind of takes that out of the decision making, and then you just go from there. So then it's just putting the colors down in sort of a balanced way and then putting glitter all over it. So it is super metallic. There's the word justice. It is super metallic. It is super duper shiny. It's probably my favorite page of the month. I really like this page. It almost looks like it's gilded in gold with those super golden markers. I tell you, if you don't have these, you need these in your stash. These are a staple. I mean, when these run out, I'm getting them again. They are unbelievable. I just love what they do. So, yeah, that's that. What do you guys think? I like this one. I like this one. So thank you, Mindy, so much for budding with me. This is a favorite of mine. I have a lot of pages done in this book, and was my all-time favorite until Wild Summer came along, and now they're tied. But this is, I will always work out of Cosmic Spirit. Okay. Oh, all right. So at this point, I've gotten the polychromos, right? And I've gotten all these other beautiful gifts, all these beautiful books and beautiful mediums. And then Sarah Simi gifted me this, as well as Rising, the other book of Carolina Kubikowski. And I cried and cried. And you all saw it. Never in a million years would I think somebody would gift me these books. I know they're expensive. The shipping is crazy, but they are unlike any book I have. They are so luxurious. I just don't. They're so special. They're so special. So I immediately wanted to do a page because I know if I didn't get on that horse, I was never going to get on that horse. I was just going to keep them and flip through them and never color because they're just too pretty. So what did I do? I picked my favorite page. And you saw when I was flipping through it, the page that I liked so well. And it was this one. And you know what? I like it. I don't think I did a bad job. It came out kind of the way I saw it in my head. It also evolved. So I love to color fish, as many of you know. And my goal was to make the fish sort of stand out. I wanted to make them really 3D. And then not so much her. Kind of just wanted to make her more ethereal. And then all I could see was like a tattoo art design for the background. So I made it more flat with some shading, but I really wanted the fish to stand out. I think this could be a tattoo, actually. But that's kind of what I saw with this. It reminded me for some reason of old school sailor tattoo. So that's kind of how I colored it. It's all done in... Oh, I based it in Super Tips, believe it or not. Blasphemy. I used Super Tips in the Carolina Kubikowska book. What? But I did. I used Super Tips and then my gorgeous new set of polychromos. Also a gift. And the Super Golden Markers. So it was just a lot of gifts that I use. Not the Super Tips, but... so the golden markers are for the bling in the moon and the stars, and the green around is a green golden marker. Then the fish are based in Super Tips, and then the polychromos over, and I think they came out just pretty much exactly what I had in my head. And then she was a delightful experiment. I wasn't sure how to do her. And then I decided to use blue for shading, and I'd start with that. And I picked this gorgeous Polychromos violet blue that was just looked pretty in the box, in the case, in the tin. So I pulled it out. And then when I put it on her, I'm like, wow, now she looks almost like she's being seen at a twilight sort of time, so the color of her skin isn't showing up, but she's pale, or she's in water. It kind of looks like she might be in the water. So I made her hair green. I normally I would not do skin that way. It was just sort of like, ooh, that's a pretty pencil, and I did it, and I really like the way it turned out. And I mixed some gray in there. There's some gray, so she's like grays and blues. So she's very coolish, where the fish are very warm. I don't normally try to do that, but I kind of like the way it separates them. So I have a hard time describing what I like about this page, but I like it a lot. The effect is effect that I don't think was ever intentional. I don't think anything that's on here was intentional. It was most of it's happy accidents, but somehow it came out kind of like what I was thinking. It looks kind of like a tattoo, really. And I just love the image. So, I did my first Carolina Kubikowska picture ever. So, Sarah and I actually have a buddy in Rising, the other book, and it's a much more complicated page, and but I'm not going to be scared. This is the best sort of book to experiment with because it's one-sided. The paper is perfect, and the images just cry out for experimentation. So, yes. Oh, I just can't tell you how much I love these books. I pull them out and just look at them all the time, and also just to feel them, the heft of them, and their hard covers and their gold spines. Oh, they're just beautiful books. Sarah, I'll never be able to thank her enough, ever. Okay. So, see, there was some big pages I was doing. That's why there's so much color by number, because that kind of like breaks it up for me. Then we have, we have another big one. We have Alien Worlds. So, Alien World Data Report. The Worldwide Association of, how does it go? Worldwide Alien World Space Explorers. Wowsy. That's us. We have over 40 in there now from all over the world. Almost every continent every continent, I think, except maybe Africa. We may not have Africa yet, but almost every continent is represented, and we have lots of different languages and different sorts of people, and it's all wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. We talk about anything, and we geek out. We all have names. I'm Captain Catastrophe. My ship is the, I'll show you my ship. My ship is the SS Close Call. We have one space explorer who said they want to make they're starting out with their ship beautiful and pristine, but as the book goes on, they want to make every image of the ship a little bit more dinged up and damaged. I think that's amazing. Mine is already made to look very kind of low-key, cheap. I on purpose am making it just very plain. We have a colorist, an explorer who spilled coffee on their console. And you actually see the splatters. It's so good. And we have those who have, we have a ship that's Christmas themed. So everything's greens and reds and golds. It's beautiful. We have so many different kinds of ships and they're so fun. This is the funnest group ever. And there are no deadlines and no timelines. We have people who haven't even started yet. We have people who've already finished the Lost Paradise, the first planet, and are moving on to another planet. Most of us are somewhere in the middle. We have some people who are still in space. We have some people who have finished their ship but have decided that now they're going to launch and they're going to skip this page because this is a big page. But you know what's funny is that there's a lot of people have chosen to do this page, and the ones that have all said the same thing, that it's very restful and meditative. I found that too when I was doing it. Somehow just doing these rocks is very restful, even though it's repetitive, but it's repetitive. I guess maybe it's just repetitive just enough. I don't know. I really enjoy it, but mine is not near as imaginative as many of the others. A lot of the other people did like half, like a sun shining on it, and the other half's in the dark. I mean, you should see some of those pages. If you look up that hashtag, and I'll put it here, Alien Worlds Data Report. Wow. Some of them, one planet looks like it's made out of cotton candy. I mean, there's another planet that's reds, like molten lava. I mean, it's just really cool. And this double page spread is really popular with everybody. Pretty much everybody's doing it at some point. So some people are skipping the asteroids and going straight to the planet. They're finding a way to get their ship down to the planet so that they can actually get some animals in. And here's the solar giant, the apex predator. I've already collected data on them. And this is the one that I hadn't collected any data yet on it. This is the one, this took me months, not because it was really hard, but more because it just took me months. I took lots of breaks from it. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to impress, is that you can take as long as you want. There's no pressure, no time. There's no rules in space. So, whenever you're done, you're done. And you can post progress pictures. You can post pictures of your cats. You can talk about supplies you got. I mean, we talk about everything in that group. And we're just really good supports for each other, and we have a blast. This is a sentient being. Well, if you read his little blurb in the back, she's called the Forest Intelligence. She's a stationary sentient being rooted to the ground in the center of a sprawling forest. It is thought to be thousands of years old, existing to preserve balance in its environment. Its roots send messages underground, and flying plants report to it with information. Yeah, I didn't follow that at all. I made her a parasite sucking the life out of all the plants around her. And these flying plants are actually like flying little alien bits of little alien information gatherers, and they're to be feared because they bring back information to her. I made her scary. Did not start this page with that intention, but it went there really fast actually. And then my idea was to take some silver glitter paper, not glitter paper, silver metallic paper. It looks almost like a mirror. And paper pieces on. And I know I have that paper somewhere in my craft room, but my craft room is a dumpster fire right now, and I just was too lazy to go looking for it. So what did I do? I used a super golden marker, which was my answer for everything this month. And this is the silver goldy one that's in the super golden markers. It looks like it's silver, but it's got some gold in it too. So I made her because I wanted that to be very, very reflective. I wanted it to look like it was metal. I really wanted her to be alien looking. I keep saying her, but I think she's a her. I really wanted her to be alien looking and not a benevolent life-preserving sentient being. I wanted her to be a life-sucking, terrifying sentient being. So I made her super scary. Now I have the same, and most of us do. We pick a color palette for the planet and then we kind of stick with it because we're just exploring. Here's an overview and then we're exploring different parts of this. So everybody's pretty much keeping to whatever palette they started with, and I am too. So the last page on the planet is this one, and this is the one I'm working on right now. Because once I finished this, it was like, okay, now I can. It's like my block was gone, and now I can just go. And I'm using Albrecht Dürer on this right now for basing, which is pretty amazing. And I wanted to make it similar colors, but we're really close up into the trees now, so I was going to introduce a few new colors like this purple. I was getting a little tired of all these same colors. So I'm going to introduce a few new colors. And these guys might be a new color because we haven't seen them before. So I'll probably make them a different color. But I'm looking forward to it. And then I'm done gathering data on the Lost Paradise planet and I go to the next planet. And I'm going to go in order. Not everybody is. You can go to whatever planet you want. It's your space exploration. I'm going to the planet which is called the Floating World. It's made of gases. I haven't looked at it yet, so I have to look this way. So that'll be the next world I go to. I think we only have one, maybe two people who have finished the Lost Paradise. And one of them, I think, didn't go to the Floating World next, went to a different planet. So, yeah. But we have this lovely chat room because it gets lonely when you're a space explorer. It can be lonely in space. And so we're there to talk with each other. And it's phenomenally fun. Direct message me on Instagram if you're interested because it's an Instagram chat group. So you really have to have Instagram. So direct message me on there and I'll get you added if you want to join. That's Alien Worlds. Okay. Gosh, I don't have many left. I have Lost and Found, RJ Hampson. Oh, I love this one. I don't know. Now I want to say this one's my favorite one. Every time I look at one and say it's my favorite. This is from Julia, who's at JMac Creative. Here it is on screen. And who also gave me these super golden markers, which I love them so much. Can't believe how much I use them. Now, in this one, this was a buddy with Veronica Dunn. And this is her page. We decided to do Mr. Fogarty on a bicycle. Now, what's cool about this is not every page has that many differences. Some of them is just one has a black background, one has not, and there's no changes. These two have big changes. So hers, it's titled in the book, Lost in the City. So he's in a city. You see the little grasshopper that he's almost running over, and his hat's blowing off in the wind, and I love the way Veronica colored this. It does look like a sunny day in the city. And there's so many differences in that one than the one I colored because I colored the dark one. So that one, while you're looking at it, I'm going to look at the daytime photo because I want the daytime page. Yeah. Oh, it's got the vines around it. And the sun, and there's a city in the background, and it's got a sun at the bottom of the page, and he's holding an umbrella. It's a completely different page in the duplicate. So this is what Veronica did, and then let me show you what I did. This is what I did for the dark page. Now it's completely different. I mean, his hat's on his head. He's looking through a telescope. He's got a night sky with comets in the background. He has a giant moon. There's a forest and a hill. And this one is actually called Lost in the Forest. And then he's got a little mouse that he's almost running over. And then everything down here are these like scary skull flowers and a moon. So this page is completely different. Completely different. Look at the little mousey. Isn't it cute? And so what I did was alcohol markers, and then I tried to get the moon's reflection in the appropriate places. I enjoy trying to achieve that. It's kind of fun, like a puzzle. And then super golden markers, all of them. I think I used every single color in the box in this one. Really, really liked it. I even made his tires glittery with a glitter gel pen. I had so much fun doing this page. These pages are just fun to do, especially with alcohol markers and then something metallic or glittery on them. I thought this was a lot of fun. And I can't believe how different the two pages are just drawn. I mean, they're completely different pages. And that's neat that R.J. Hampson does that. So, and he's so involved. I mean, it seems like every time I post one of his pictures on Instagram, he comments. And not just like a heart or something. He says some words, which is really neat. So, I love it. I think he's just a great guy. So yeah, that was that page. Absolutely had a wonderful time with Veronica. Veronica and I buddy a lot together. We have completely different styles, absolutely opposite ends of the spectrum, different styles. And that's what makes it fun to buddy with her, because we do completely different takes on the page. So I only have none left. Wait a minute, I have this one. Hold on. I have an extra page that I didn't write down. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. I have 27 pages that I did this month. Wow. This was another buddy with Veronica Dunn. And this is her Instagram, Veronica Dunn 66. And we did a mandala in here with the crayfish or the lobsters. And let me show you hers. She looked up blue lobsters. There are blue lobsters, not where I live, but there are other places that have blue lobsters. And so she did this gorgeous page. And she finished it really quickly in July. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even started. This is such a complicated page. But she gave me a lot of inspiration. She just tackled it and went with it. And I love her colors very much. And it helped me to see, it was easier to look at her page than to look at the black and white regular version in the book, because there was so much. It was so detailed, it was hard to see everything. But looking at Veronica's page, I was able to, oh, okay, now I see the elements. Okay. So then I got started and I did this. I wanted green. I don't know why. Lobsters, crayfish, they aren't in green water, but for some reason I wanted the green. And this is alcohol markers, but there's also a bit of pencil on here. And I think it's Color, because this was done before I got the polychromos. So this would be the Color pencils. There is some of that super golden markers, though, got added onto here. And I made them orange, like crayfish or lobsters. And then I just kind of kept with the color palette is what I did. I wanted them to be the brightest thing on the page, although I did make that starfish really glittery in the middle, metallic. And then I just sort of did different versions of this orange. There was some pinky orange and some yellow orange and some greeny yellow, and just kind of kept it in that range. All of these little fishies, I did them in super golden markers so that they would flash and shimmer like fish do underwater, but they're a little bit harder to see. I guess you can kind of see them over in here now. Yeah. But I actually thought I would get tired of this page before I finished, and I didn't. I did all the elements. So I did all of the lobsters, and then I did all of this shell, and then I did all of this shell. And that really helped. That helped narrow it down. And then the backgrounds I did in chunks. I liked it. I like the way it turned out. I have no idea why I picked green water, but I really like it. You know, it's hard to make Milt Pimeni's images look bad. She's such an incredible artist that I don't know, you could scribble on these things and they'd still look good. So it's no matter what you do to these pages, they're going to look good. So I really enjoyed this. So thank you, Veronica, for getting me into another one of these. I've only done one other in here because they are a little bit daunting. They're so busy, and that was this one. And you know, that's a busy page. Even though I blacked out part of it, it's still a busy page. But that's a wintry one, and then I wanted to do a summery one, so that works out really nicely. So that worked out great. So thank you so much, Veronica. And that is the end of my colored pages for July 2024. 27 pages. And I'm still going. I'm coloring every night. I'm coloring like crazy. Now my August plans are nutballs. I have oh my gosh. But what I'm doing is basically all buddy colors because I had, I tried to set 5 as a limit and I ended up like with 15 before I knew it. And so I was just like, look, I'm just going to do buddy colors then this month. So I'm going to do an August plans video next. And you will be able to see what I'm doing and see if there's anything you'd like to jump on with and buddy with me. I always plan more than I can do, like many of us do, just so I have choices. But this month, I did a lot. And I was able to throw more in that weren't planned. So that was really fun. So knowing what I'm capable of doing and still keeping up with the video schedule, which I think I did really well, the best I've ever done. And I feel like it's sustainable. I don't feel like I'm overworking. I've kind of got a schedule going now. It's fun and connecting with all of you. But I think the number one reason for all of this productivity was those beautiful gifts. I just felt so encouraged and enthused and excited, motivated to give back even more. I want to give back more. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm really enjoying it. So thank you for sitting here with me with my sprinkler going and the frogs. And Jack's been snoring for a while, so you might be hearing him. And for joining me on my late night video. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.